I fell, I failed, and someone says I must face my shadow. They tell me, own it. But what if that's the wrong phrase? Because if I own it, I bought it, and now I must carry it around. But what if failure doesn't belong to me at all? What if it's just a voice from society, from education, from old rules pressed onto me? In this world cut I rise step by step, from the heaviness of fall into the clarity of my true essence. Feel crushed, I tell myself I failed and it sounds final. I replay the fall in my head, the embarrassment, the wasted effort. Everyone else seems to move forward while I'm stuck here. I hear the whispers of you should know better and you messed up again. And I almost believe them. In this place I feel powerless, like failure stamped its mark on me. I think maybe it's part of me now, maybe I'll never shake it off. My chest feels heavy, my thoughts keep sinking. All I can see is what went wrong. Failure cuts, it slices right into me, like it's trying to prove there's no worth inside. It screams that I'm worthless, useless, a loser, and that hurts so much I can barely breathe, because deep down I disagree. I know I have value, I know I create value, and that's why it stings, because I feel forced to prove it to a world that measures me by its shallow scoreboard, and something in me refuses. I won't stay small under their gaze. I shout, hey you, society critics, voices in my head. You don't get the final word. I hear you mocking, but I'm not your puppet. You want me to believe I'm nothing. Watch me, I'll rise just to spite you. I'm sick of carrying this picture of myself as broken. I hate the way I let those voices seep in. Maybe I even hated myself enough to believe them, but not anymore. I'm mad, mad at the judgments, mad at the rules, mad at how easily I swallowed their poison. So I fight back in my mind, I shout at them, I throw things. I see myself standing taller, spitting their words back. Loser, if failing makes me a loser, then at least I dare to try. What about you? Cowards don't fall because they never step. At least I rest, at least I live. The rage shakes me awake, and it feels better than lying crushed. This fire is raw, messy, almost ugly, but it's mine, and I let it blaze, because in this fire I'm no longer frozen. The anger drains, and what's left feels heavy again. I sit in the quiet after the fight, and sadness seeps in. Did I really have to go through all this? Did I really need to hate myself just to get here? It aches, but not the same way as before. My chest feels a little looser, as if the shouting cracked something open. Wouldn't it be nice if I succeed, despite everything they said? Despite the whispers, despite the looks, despite the judgments, why not? Haven't I heard the stories? People rising from the very bottom, people counted out who ended up counted among the great. If they can, why not me? And what if this very workout is the beginning of my success? What if this moment, talking myself through the rubble, is already me standing again? Wouldn't it be nice if I could feel successful even before the result shows up? To carry that feeling now like a seed planted, before the tree breaks the ground. I think maybe there was never a shadow in me at all. Maybe there was only light, and I just forgot it by listening to the wrong messages over and over. If that's true, then even this sadness is only a reminder of where I strayed. Not who I am, I know. Somewhere deep down I know that success begins inside me. I must feel it before it arrives. And yet I kept clinging to the label of failure. No wonder I kept sinking. But results, they will come, they must come. That's the way life works. When the inner lines up, the outer follows. And wouldn't it be nice if they come faster, easier, lighter this time? Even as sadness lingers, these thoughts feel softer, more possible. Like maybe the path ahead isn't blocked at all. I just need to look where the opening is. I don't need to keep circling the same thoughts. I can let them quiet down. For a moment, nothing matters. The arguments, the records, the grades, the opinions, they shrink into dust. It feels good to step back, to make everything small, tiny, almost zero. Problems that seemed huge a moment ago look like specks on the horizon. When I soften my focus, I let myself breathe into that emptiness. Just space, no scoreboard, no failure, no judgment pressing against me. Just me, here, existing, and that's enough. I don't have to fix anything right now. I don't have to prove anything right now. I can allow the mind to clear, and in that clearing I feel bigger than the problem, bigger than the noise. From this distance I remember, life is larger than any single fall. I am larger than any single fall. Is quiet, I can feel the steady pulse of something deeper. Me, still moving, still alive, still capable. In this space, the past As I sit in this calmer space, a thought stirs. What if something good is already forming, even though I can't see it yet? What if falling didn't break me, it positioned me? I begin to wonder, what if this so-called failure is part of a bigger picture I can't yet grasp? Haven't there been times before when things look like endings, only to turn into beginnings? Maybe this is another one of those turning points. What if I'm not as far from success as it feels? What if I'm closer than I think, closer than I ever imagined? Could it be that the very pain I feel is proof that I'm stretching, growing, reaching for more? I breathe into that thought and it lightens me, because if that's true, then this isn't the end of my story. It's the start of a new chapter. I ask myself, what if the universe, life itself, is actually conspiring on my behalf? What if things are lining up quietly, even now, preparing to meet me halfway? Wouldn't it be wonderful if this fall was only the setup for a rise so much higher than before? I notice, I can picture it, I can imagine myself looking back on this time and smiling, seeing clearly that it had to happen this way. Because without it, I wouldn't have reached the strength, the clarity, the hunger I feel now. And the more I imagine, the more real it feels. Maybe I was never failing at all. Maybe I've been moving forward all along. That thought breathes hope into me, not fake, not forced, just a sense that life is bigger, kinder, more generous than my fears. That even here, especially here, something good is waiting to show itself. I see it more clearly now. There was never a shadow inside me, only negative thoughts I kept repeating until they felt permanent. But thoughts are not who I am, they come and go, and now I choose which ones stay. If I can repeat doubt, I can also repeat faith. If I can rehearse failure in my mind, then I can rehearse success just as vividly. So I start turning the pattern. I tell myself new things, words that actually support me, thoughts that lift me instead of bury me. Faith in me, how does that feel? It feels steady, alive, warm. It feels like strength pulsing under my skin. Maybe that's what I should give my attention to. Not the debris of failure, not the echo of shame, but this steady pulse of success already inside me. What does success look like when I milk it in my imagination? I see myself moving through the day with clarity, handling things with ease, drawing people to me with confidence. I see results beginning to show up, little victories that add up, bigger opportunities that flow. And as I picture it, the energy grows. I realize I already have the talents, the knowledge, the skills. I have the desire, and that desire is energy in motion. I can feel it organizing me, guiding me, almost pulling the right circumstances into place. This doesn't feel like shadow work anymore. This feels like light work, like saying goodbye to the old falsehoods and standing in the brightness that was always mine. I can do it, I really can. I'm beginning to believe it, and the more I believe success in the distance. I feel it flowing through me now.
I feel greater than I thought I could be, greater than the picture others painted of me. Greater not because I brag, not because I'm masking old feelings, but because I found what was inside me all along. My greatness isn't borrowed or forced, it lives in me. And I'm simply opening the way for it. How do I open it? By feeling great, by choosing it moment by moment. And it's not fake, it's real work, inner work. I look for joy everywhere, and joy shows itself. I look for solutions, and they come. I feel the energy of life cooperating with me. And now even the ones who once called me a loser, I can imagine them again. Yes, I was a loser, but not because I failed their test. I lost my own path for a while, that's all. And now I've found it, and finding it feels like winning something much bigger than any scoreboard could show. I'm happy with this chain of thoughts, cheerful, light. I love laughing, I love fun, I love being fun, feeling fun, letting fun lead my work. Work itself is turning into play when I carry this vibe. What else can I fail at today? What an interesting thought. If failing means discovering a better way, then bring it on. I'd rather be frisky than fearful, curious instead of cautious. And this is what I want to be obsessed with. Not chasing results, not proving success, but basking in my great feelings. Because when I feel great, I am great. And from here, greatness multiplies. Beat and cries. I just rose from the weight of failure into the brightness of my own greatness. Let me remember, these words are always here for me. I'll come back whenever I need to reset, to lift again. My job isn't to prove anything to the world. My job is to feel great, to enjoy, to let solutions come. And when inspired actions show up, I'll follow them. I'll see where they lead. Maybe I'll laugh at the idea of failure. Maybe I'll feel lighter about success. Maybe I'll even want to shift myself on another subject that bothers my heart. I'll come back when I need. The path is open.
to find a better feeling.